Hello everybody, welcome to the training of the TeSys Tera. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video what we're going to do is to explain you the offer that we have at Schneider Electric on 2026, the launch of this offer that will replace the TeSys T, the previous offer for the smart overload relays, with this new one, the TeSys Tera. Okay, so let's go to the presentation. So I haven't done this presentation. This is something that I take from the line of business for the motors management. So we go through it and give you the explanation. So, come on. So for those who really don't know what is a TeSys Tera, let's start by saying that it's going to be the same as TeSys T, but with more features. Okay, so if you don't know what is TeSys T, then basically it's a overload and smart overload relay. So we have a possibility to protect the load and have communication, and we also have the possibility to have control on it. So on terms of communication, here you can see on the slide that I have different protocols already there. So I have Modbus serial, I got Ethernet AP, I got Modbus TCP, I got Profibus, and we have Profinet. The Profinet is going to be for 2027, but we have those protocols already there. Now, how this one looks like, just to give you an idea. So having the three devices for DOL. So we have the MCB, we have the contactor, and we have the overload relay. Okay, so we replace that overload relay with this device. Okay, and we have the possibility to control the contactor through the overload relay, the smart overload relay. That's going to be the TeSys Tera. So if you are going to use, for example, the DOL on now MCC, then we can use TeSys Tera, and instead of having all different kind of wirings, if you use, for example, the TeSys Giga over there, the overload for the protection, we just replace that with the TeSys Tera, so we can use that as a control, and also to have just one unique cable in order to do the networking there. Okay, so instead of multiple wires, just one single cable to make the connection to the TeSys Tera and make the monitoring and control. Now, this is part of the offer. So what we have here on the TeSys Tera offer is based on a sensor module and a control module. Okay, that it can be next to each other or can be separated. Okay, there is no communication between these two devices. What we need is a RJ11 cable that goes through here to here in order to make the connection. Now, on the sensor module, you can see there are three holes. Okay, there is going to be the CTs for the current, and then we have the possibility to use a terminal for the voltage. That's going to be connected here, the terminal, where you put the cable for the voltage, and that will read the voltage. So CT and CV all in one place. That compared with the TeSys T, we have another module that goes to the unit in order to have everything, the power and energy. Here it's just one. We have a possibility now to have additional IOs. So we have an expansion module card, okay, that goes into here. And then we can still use the same family range for the CTs into here. There is a new display. Okay, the look and feel is the same, but different firmware, so it's only compatible with the TeSys Tera. And again, the software to program this is the SOMUB, and we need the DTM for the TeSys Tera, and all those are free. Now, this is the references that we have for the control unit. Okay, so everything starts with LTMT. Don't ask me what it means this, I really don't know. I believe it's line TeSys, don't know. But then the last letter here is the communication type. So M is going to be for Modbus serial, E is going to be for Ethernet, P for Profibus, PN, I believe is going to Profinet. Then the Profinet is not shown here because it's going to be future, 2027, as far as I know. Each of these communication module came into with two references that depends on the power supply. So we have one for 24 volts and we have another for mains, and that is the last two digits of the part number. BD is 24 and FM is going to be for mains. Okay, each of these has a temperature input module. Okay, that is looking to this unit, it's going to be over here at the bottom, and then we have up to 4 digital inputs and 3 outputs on the other side of the unit. Let's see, there we go. So now that we covered the main control unit, we need to go into the sensor module, which is this one. Again, the 3 holes, and we have the possibility to use it as horizontal. Okay, now this one has the current and voltage, but we have the possibility to have only current. But if we're doing this, we just go for all in and do the voltage. We also have possibility to put this as vertical. Okay, but we're doing in the vertical, there is a specific version. So instead of having the holes here in the horizontal, we have it over here at the top to the bottom. Okay, these are the references: LTMT, which is the standard, okay, for this series, CT for the sensor, and B if you have the voltage on it. Okay, and this is the range for the where it goes. Okay, and then the last digit is going to be T for horizontal and L for vertical. Now this is how it looks like. Here you can see 3 cables. There is always the terminal connector here, the RJ11, to connect these 2 units. Okay, there's no communication at all between these 2 over here, even if they are like this together. Okay, there is nothing. You just need the cable, so you need to order it, otherwise nothing's gonna happen. Okay, and here it shows how to connect as an external CTs to a unit. Here the digital IOs, LTMT, and then the 4 digits change depend on the type of the just put myself down here a little bit. So it changed on the type, and the last 2 digits is for the power supply. So we need to match this with the main control units. If it's 24 volts, then the modus needs to be 24 volts too. We also have ground fault mode and temperature input modules. We have this. We can have up to 5 of these digital I/O modules. 5 is going to be the top that we can have here. Okay, in terms of the expansion mode. So that is the limitation that we have. Then the CT is going to be the same references that we had before. Okay, it's going to be the same. That's not going to change. They had the possibility to use the remote graphics display here in order to control FDR, serial alarms, interlocks. Everything's going to be there, so that's good. You can also configure the display, the TeSys Tera from there. Okay, and in the front of the main controller for the TeSys Tera, you have well, depend on the communication, but you have 2 ports on the right side. Okay, if you look at it this way, so one is going to be for HMI. The HMI is this graphic display, okay, and then the other one is for the expansion. So don't mess it up, don't mix it. Okay, then again, the software to configure this is going to be Somov. The programming cable is going to be the same as we have for the RT-bar drives or solid starters. So it's going to be the same cable. You can still use it, or if you use Ethernet, just use the Ethernet cable. Okay, so this is how it looks like, the whole portfolio for EcoStruxure, for the EcoStruxure umbrella that we have for machine and for plant for the motor management offer. Okay, so we have the bottom layer, we have TeSys U or TeSys Ultra, we have TeSys Island, and here we should be able to see the TeSys, the standard TeSys GB or NCBs. We have TeSys Giga, and now we have the TeSys Tera as a smart overload relay. Okay, here you can see how it's the whole integration in the bottom layer as connected products. Okay, now we have the possibility to push the data back to the edge control going to one of the CPUs that we have, one of the PLCs, or the pack family, the Modicon range for the M5A 2340, and the Modicon for machine, M241, M221, M262, or M660, or pack drive, in case we want to. Okay, so this is the like a quick overview of the TeSys Tera. Okay, we're gonna go into this training with more about each individual pieces of the TeSys Tera, how to work with it, how to work with a different PLC, with the PLCs in Schneider, how to work with it, how to control it, how to monitor, and go into more detail into each functionality that we have inside. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.